Hey guys, so this is going to be really quick stream. First of all, before getting into Bitcoin, I want to get into the AVAX trade I posted this morning. So yeah, AVAX looking good on the 12-hour, breaking above the 6.60 resistance area. I think this has a good chance of hitting these highs from mid-June and then possibly even going higher. So a lot of momentum behind AVAX today. So that is one of my active positions. Now let's take a look at the heat map right now and see what is going on. Oh God. Okay. So yeah, let's take a look at everything excluding stable coins. And now I want to zoom out to the weekly time frame and see what transpired over the week. So obviously it's been pretty bearish week for most coins. Bitcoin down 5.8% before the week. Ethereum down 7%. XRP down almost 7% as well. Although we did have some assets that did hold up relatively well, such as Solana, actually up 2%. Let's actually go into Bitcoin itself, and I want to talk about why I am really concerned with Bitcoin here. So let me get rid of my indicators here first, and then I'll explain. So what I'm looking at here is Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. And what just happened is, let me switch this to simple moving average. So we did actually break below the 200-day simple moving average. 200-week simple moving average on Bitcoin. Now, if we actually take a look at Bitcoin throughout its history, it rarely, if ever, it has happened a few times, breaks below the 200-week SMA. Now, of course, it's happened. Actually, happened only once before. But usually, the 200-week simple moving average does tend to hold up Bitcoin's price action in previous cycles. So you can see here, we bounced off the 200-week SMA, bounced off the 200-week here, bounced off the 200-week here. And let's see, when did we break it? Now, even in the bear market of 2017, 2018, we never broke below the 200-week SMA. After that, we had a nice run up of, let's measure this, it's run up of like 300, almost 300%. Not bad. Even during the COVID dump, Bitcoin did hold up above the 200-week SMA pretty nicely. And then the only time in history where we lost it was during this period in August of 2022. Like once we broke above it, this did lead to move down of about 30% on BTC. So something to keep in mind. Now, once again, we did break below it in, what was this? August of 2023. However, this time, the move wasn't as severe, like from the closing bar price down to the bottom. We only had like a 3% move down. So this was kind of like a false breakdown if I had to categorize it. Now, the concerning thing is that, we had two successful bounce attempts off the 200-week SMA back in February. Then once again, first week of June, we did have a small bounce, but ultimately right now we are trading below the 200-week SMA. Now, if we use prior examples here, what this means is that we're looking at a potential 30% move down on Bitcoin. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen today or tomorrow, but over the next few weeks or months, it is quite possible we could go down to the $40,000 region. That would not surprise me at all to see that happen. But for now, let's just watch this level. So 60,000, very critical, especially getting above 62,000 on a daily closure. Daily closing rates would be good, as that would be closing above the 200-week SMA on BTC. Okay, So that's BTC on the weekly. See if there's anything interesting on Bitcoin dominance. Not really, just kind of going sideways here. We'll also look at Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum is just barely holding on to this $1,500 support region. I'm not quite bullish on Ethereum either. Ethereum Bitcoin ratio is still in a downtrend, so really nothing to see here. Okay, now let's look at USD dominance. Now, what's concerning here, guys? We actually had a weekly closure above this 9% level on Bitcoin dominance. Now, what this implies is that, as USD dominance rises, that is bearish for altcoins, because that means more capital is flowing into the stability of stablecoins and out of altcoins. And we actually did confirm a weekly closure above the 9% level. So what this could mean is continued weakness for the alt space. So yeah, this is actually a new all-time high for USD dominance. I don't think we've been this high ever. Now, of course, you can also say that there's a constant issuance of US dollar tether at the same time, so it would make sense for the market cap of USDT to go up in the long term. However, we're going up at a pretty high rate, I would say. Okay, let's take a look at let's go to CoinGlass. Let's see where we are on the fear and greed index. Where's the fear and greed? What is the fear and greed index? Okay, oh, here it is. Okay, so we are at a 13 read, which is extreme fear. Now, usually when we get to extreme fear levels, that does tend to mark Bitcoin's bottoms. Now we're not, we are at extreme fear. However, we've seen the extreme fear index go as low as, reading at 5. Right, let's see. Yeah, we've seen this go down to the single digits previously. So, what I'd be looking for is perhaps a dip down to, read of the crypto fear and greed index hit at 5 on February 7th, and that did actually mark a bottom during that month. So something to keep in mind here. Let's see if the fear and greed index can go below 10 here. So yeah, right now, just on Bitcoin, just watching, I think the same levels I drew out from last week. Let's go to the lower time frames and draw this out again. So yeah, basically 60.7 to the upside remains a resistance zone. Then 58.2 to the downside is a support zone. If we get above there, there's a good chance we can go to 62. After that, we can get to 63. So we have a lot of levels to break through here. So first of all, I'd be watching we are above 60,000 right now, so I'd be watching the $60,000 level. I think that's all I really want to cover for Bitcoin. 60K is going to be important. I think everybody knows how important the 60K region is for Bitcoin and Bitcoin's price action. Let's actually go into my daily scan here, and we'll look at the top 100 instruments here and see if there's any potential longs or shorts on the table. We'll just go through this one by one. Okay, ape. Interesting here. Tesla's going up by 7%. Wow. TIA. Okay, TIA looks interesting here. Like if we can break above 40 cents here, this would be good for daily long. So I'll be watching this level. Didex. Actually, this is a trade that I'm in right now. Hit TP1 on it already. So for those who are holding it, good job. I'm still holding it for those who are wondering. Let's see what else we got here. AVAX, like I said, on the 12-hour, I had to go long on it, and actually, this trade is still valid if you guys are looking at my trading signals. And this could actually become like a daily signal as well if we can break above 6.8. Okay, now with dog with hat. Okay, what looks interesting here. Actually, if we're breaking above the 55 EMA here, this is actually a long signal. Let's see what the take profits could be. You're looking at take profits of 0.2, 0.21, 0.23 for WIF, basically targeting the highs from May. Let's keep going. Yeah, so WIF, I'll put that on the watch list here. Solana's looking pretty good on the 12-hour. Wow, this looks really good. I'll add this to my list as well. Solana looking good. And yeah, just gonna go through the list here and see if there's anything else that I see. A nice move on the triple Qs, up 2.24%. So I think that's gonna affect crypto markets in a good way. And yeah, Uni's going up here, so I'm still in a Uni long. And I'm gonna probably keep this long for a bit. Yeah, so Solana looks interesting. What was it? What else was it? TIA. I already entered AVAX long. Okay, Aave already hit TP3 on this, so good job on that one. What is this? Meme? Yeah, no, let me fade this. Let's keep going here. LTC, BTC. Watch the Litecoin Bitcoin ratio. We might see kind of a breakout on Litecoin. Perhaps. Yeah, apart from that, there's really not. I don't really see that many other opportunities here. I'll just finish going through the list. Yeah, WLD is kind of like struggling to hold on here, so we'll see how this one closes the day. And that's about it, guys. So I'm gonna end it here. Basically, watch Bitcoin 60,000, and yeah, just trade carefully, guys. It's actually looking like a positive day for Bitcoin. Well, at least for altcoins. So keep an eye out. I'll post any relevant signals in the channels later.
I have a meeting with the CTO of my cousin's